Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Blue Steel Tarot, here for your weekly reading. Today is Monday, January 16th, and so we'll jump right into it. Happy MLK Day. Quite a day here in the United States, as always, celebrating the life and the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. Today I'm going to use, I usually use the Robin Wood Tarot deck, but I decided, you know what, let's mix it up a little bit. Let's use the Pride Tarot deck. And let's just pull a couple of different cards and kind of see what vibe we get from them. And then we'll use the Robin Wood Tarot deck to clarify. And I just had a jumper, meaning a card just jumped out of the deck. And that was the Page of Swords. So I'm going to put that up there as kind of like an overarching card. So we'll kind of see what else it has to say and tell us. Okay, so first card here we have for the week of January 16th, the Eight of Cups. Interesting. The Five of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Four of Cups. Okay, you know what? This doesn't surprise me. I feel like this is the energy that I'm kind of feeling myself. Kind of some mixed energy here. So let's just jump right over into the Four of Cups. When I think of the Four of Cups, I'm thinking about in a way, it's comfortableness, right? It's stability. It's a foundation. But the way this card is, look, it's two guys. Looks like they're just like lounging around on a couch. It's kind of like almost like an apathy, like an indifference. Largely content, but not really overly excited about anything in particular. So that's the kind of energy that I'm seeing here in this particular card. And that's kind of actually what I'm feeling this week. I don't know why. Maybe because it's winter. And here we have the Eight of Cups, and it's like you're looking for something new. So I think we're coming into this week probably being a little bit like, ugh. And maybe this is common, right? After, thinking about this, like after the new year, right? I can't pick up these cards. Coming into the new year, there's a little bit of like that year-end hangover. And I feel like it's a little bit of like, we're just indifferent. And so the Eight of Cups is all about like moving on, something new, something bigger. So you might be moving on to something new this week. And maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you haven't done this yet or haven't moved on yet, but, it could be an exciting time. It could be something to be excited about. It could also be something that you're kind of like, you're not overly excited about it quite yet, and that's going to change, hopefully, right? Five of Wands. Five of Wands can be about conflict. It's a little bit hard to tell here, but you can kind of see the two fists up here, the closed fists. And pay attention to hands, right? There's a few different hands here. We have hands here, hand, and hand. And then this one right here in the middle. They're closed, so they're clasped, they're gripped, they're like in a fighting mode, they're holding on tight. So there is some strong energy here. Fives are usually about change, and this one could be about like some sort of conflict, contrasting energies, that kind of thing. Kind of aligning, and it's interesting. Like we had the Four of Cups and then the Five of Wands. So, there's definitely some energy here of like discontent, okay? And moving on to something new after a period of apathy almost. So the Hangman is, you can kind of see just like, this is a little bit different, right? From the Robin Wood, the traditional tarot decks. The Hangman still kind of forming like the number 4. So still in that stability and foundation, and of course the Four of Wands is a great card, but this one and the Four of Cups are a little bit different. When I look at this card, I think of like seeing something from a different point of view. It's also not. It's also generally associated with like not taking any movement or not moving at all, being immobile. This one feels a little bit different, right? Because the blonde hair is kind of like blowing in the wind, and it's kind of like going off to the left here. So that's kind of particularly interesting to me. But again, I think it could be seeing something new. Probably kind of like this. Maybe it's just kind of like you're just in this quiet period. You're in this quiet period of life coming in this week, and it's like we're feeling okay, but there's nothing really moving per se. But that's not going to be for long. We're already looking at this eight of cups, as I said. So let's let's use the Robin Wood Tarot deck to do some clarifying. And of course we have the Page of Swords here. So this is a message. So what this tells me is the Page of Swords is coming in this week of the message. This message could be related to this. It could the message coming in be related to moving on to something new. So maybe this week, maybe you're kind of coming in, you're feeling a little bit of conflict, a little dissatisfaction, a little apathy. You're not feel like you're not really, there's no movement. But this is telling me that's going to change, okay? And now I'm just kind of reacting to this as I'm kind of walking through it. This is going to change. There's a message coming in that's going to produce some sort of movement, moving on to something new, potentially leaving something behind. You might be saying, hey, I'm bored. I'm leaving something behind. That could be a person. That could be a job. That could be something, something else. Let's kind of see what else we can glean from that. I do like the Page of Swords. There's definitely a message coming in. That might be... And remember, the Page of Swords was the jumper. That was one that jumped out of the deck. So let's see... Excuse me. Let's see what the Robin Wood Tarot deck can tell us. Tell us more about this Four of Cups. Tell us more about this Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is clarified by the Nine of Swords. So this is kind of about, this is obviously somebody who's having bad dreams. They've been through a difficult time. They're quite dissatisfied. And so, kind of getting that same feeling here, kind of like I was saying is, the thing with the nine, though, is that you're kind of like, this is like sleepless nights, right? So if you've been worrying, if you've been kind of like stressed out, you feel like you're not getting anywhere and that's bothering you, that's kind of what this is saying here. Let's just jump over to the Five of Wands. Tell us more about the Five of Wands. Okay, I got the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is clarifying the Five of Wands. So, what that's telling me is any conflict could be related to something that you haven't said. And so I think when somebody is able to kind of vocalize and speak their truth and maybe clarify some of the thoughts and feelings and emotions that they're having, I think there's going to be some clarity there. And that's kind of what this is telling me. So, definitely be mindful of that, right? Let's talk about the Hangman. Tell us more about this Hangman. Okay, so the Empress. So the Empress is all about attraction. She is very fertile. She is very attractive. She is, the law of attraction epitome. I mean, she has everything she needs and she attracts more and more of it. And she's very appreciative of all the abundance around her. So maybe what this is saying too is that like you need to focus on your mindset, okay? Your mindset needs to be aligned with what you truly desire. And if you're focusing on all the negative, all the things that aren't happening in your life right now, or something that just the quiet times, things that are not going as planned, you're going to get more of that. So seeing things from a new angle, express gratitude and appreciation for all the wonderful things that are going on in your life, and that will help things get to a better spot, okay? Tell us more about this Eight of Cups. What are we leaving behind? Oh, interesting. So I got the Five of Wands. So we've already got the Five of Wands in the other tarot deck. So leaving behind some sort of conflict, leaving behind some sort of contentious kind of relationship, whether this be work or something else. So the Five of Wands comes up twice. Change. So leaving behind a contentious relationship. Let's peel that onion back a little bit more, right? Let's talk about that a little bit more. I'm just going to shuffle these cards again. Let's see if we can get some clarity. Tell us more about this conflict that we're leaving behind. What do we need to know about this conflict? What is this conflict? Queen of Wands. Okay, so probably a passion. There's probably some passionate energy, passionate excitement there. And there may be some strong energies and emotions. And it could be related to something... it's hard to say. I would just say somebody got passionate about something and may have said something that they kind of regret. With regards to the Five of Wands, or it kind of ruffled some feathers and made someone feel upset and offended. Tell us more about that, though. Let's see what else we can get here. Six of Swords. So this is leaving something behind, moving on. Maybe somebody feels abandoned here, okay? Maybe there's some sort of someone was left behind. Someone thought that they could count on the Queen of Wands here and I don't know where this is coming from. This is just kind of coming to me as I'm talking. Um, so there could be some hurt feelings. There could be somebody who thought that they were focusing on this particular situation with the person as the Queen of Wands being somebody who is a great partner, somebody who is has a lot of positive energy, positive vibes, and they feel like that person kind of left them behind or left them abandoned and really was not there for them. And that is what caused this conflict. So somebody is feeling resentment and conflict, and I think that that's related to some hurt feelings and emotions. And I think that that's what I'm getting, and that's what they're leaving behind these negative feelings and emotions. The only way you're going to do that here is kind of like by maybe expressing some of that gratitude, right? The Page of Cups. Page of Cups is expressing your emotions, expressing your gratitude, expressing your appreciation for somebody. And so maybe this particular person needs to hear that. So if there's somebody in your life right now, whether it's you or somebody else, I think what you need to do is analyze it and understand what some of your emotions are at this time. Some of the emotions could be kind of pointing to a feeling of disappointment and hurt, and feeling like of abandonment. This is usually a card moving on to calmer waters, but I'm getting more of like abandonment, kind of left behind, kind of left to yourself and left out in the cold almost. Even though this isn't traditionally like what the meaning of that card is, but it's just with regards to leaving something behind and the conflict, the strong negative energy associated with the Five of Wands in this particular case. That's kind of what I'm getting. So anyway, I hope this helps. If there's something, like I said, always be conscious and aware of your emotions. If you're feeling a negative emotion, think about what is occurring that is provoking that negative emotion, because the reality is that negative emotion is not serving you. It's not serving anybody. And, the sooner we can kind of redirect our thoughts and feelings, the better off we're all going to be in all cases. But in this particular case, be aware that whether it's you or somebody else who is acting out, who is, fighting to an extent, or appears combative or disagreeable or whatever the case might be, the reality could be that they're doing this because they feel, or you feel, that you've been abandoned or they've been abandoned. And it's something that could be quickly resolved. So, interesting week. Probably not the strongest or the most exciting week, but I guess what would glean from this is there's an opportunity to resolve it and kind of leave it behind. And when the week ends, let's have left that energy behind. Let's be moving on to calmer, better waters. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful week. Drop your comments and questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of these. And I'll be back again real soon.